I'm on here today because I want to talk a little bit about being stuck, feeling stuck. In the world of coaching, sorry, I'm just pushing buttons here. I don't even know what I'm doing. In the world of coaching, I feel like that word just flies around so much, and it's to the point where to hear it, it can almost mean nothing, but it's important to keep in mind that it's for such a simple one-syllable word, stuck. There's so much in it, like so much feeling behind it. So I want you to think about your own experience in your own lifestyle. My only guess is that you're here following this page because, there's something about your lifestyle as it is now that, maybe you're feeling stuck in. Maybe you're feeling sick and tired of, just feeling kind of like you're sleepwalking through life. That's something that I heard somebody say once that was pretty profound. And a lot of people that I talk to are just feeling so bored in their lifestyle, unseen in their lifestyle. They feel like they're bending over backwards to fit into somebody else's idea of who they should be, to the point where they aren't even creating space to truly become themselves. So, it's like they're stuck in these identities and these roles that don't even feel authentic to them, which is huge. They're stuck in jobs that they hate. They're stuck in, relationships or roles that don't really suit them anymore. And if you've ever felt stuck in any way, you know firsthand just how exhausting it can be, how draining it can be, and how disheartening, hopeless it can feel. And it just sort of, it's one of those things that just breaks my heart to talk to so many people who feel stuck, who have felt stuck for years, and who have no idea that it's possible to get unstuck. And that's one of the things I want to help people with, because it's been so important for me to find my own way to release some of those ways that I felt stuck in my own life. So if you're sick and tired of feeling stuck, here we go. Let's get into it. Most likely you've been daydreaming about what your life could feel like, what it could look like, what you would love for it to look like. But for whatever reason, you just keep getting sort of backtracked. You get backtracked back into that stuck place. And first off, I just want to normalize it, because it's so perfectly normal to, maybe have something that we want to change, but just kind of continue every day, wake up, do the same thing, do the same thing, do the same thing. And I started to think about this as living by default instead of by design, and I help people flip that around so that they're living by design instead of by default. Doesn't mean there aren't still some default things that come up from time to time, because they do. It would take a tremendous amount of attention and focus to be constantly doing every single thing by design, but we do our best. We do what we can. And sometimes when we're feeling stuck, it's like we don't even know what we would rather do or what we would rather experience in our lives. We just know that we're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, and that we don't have any wiggle room, that we've outgrown our situation. And so it's really important, first off, just to make a commitment to get unstuck. Often that's the hardest part, is just really deciding wholeheartedly that we're going to do something different. Even if we're starting out and we don't have any clear vision or clear direction about where we want to go, there's something about that commitment to ourselves to find a way through it that is so incredibly valuable, and for me, it's like showing ourselves that we care, showing ourselves that we care about the quality of our lives, showing ourselves that we believe in ourselves and that we care about putting our true value into the world and giving it all we've got, like recognizing that life is short and I want to live it in XYZ ways, and I'm going to walk my talk. I'm going to show up with integrity and do the thing, And what, a lot of us end up telling ourselves is that, that we have to make the responsible choice, or that the only responsible choice or the only way that I can, live every day or have the money I need or whatever is to maybe work for somebody else, work towards developing and propelling their dream and their vision, and then, I'll hopefully get my needs met along the way. And it makes me think about, if you've ever seen, I think it was a keynote talk by Jim Carrey that he did at a university ages ago, and it seems like such a good illustration of this, which is that basically he talked about his father as being a really talented and funny and creative man, and his father ultimately was too afraid to pursue his passions ultimately, and sort of opted to do the responsible thing and take care of his family by getting an accounting job, I think it was. And that ultimately he made this ultra safe choice and in getting this accounting job, and that ultimately he lost the job. And so Jim Carrey's takeaway was that you can fail at doing what you don't love. Obviously, you can fail at trying what you do love, but if you can fail at doing what you don't love, then you may as well try for what you do love. And I just found that resonated so much with me, and it was just such a clear way of putting it, and that is absolutely the truth. So when we're stuck, when we're feeling stuck, a lot of times we're doing it because we want safety and security. We're staying stuck because even though it's uncomfortable being stuck, at least we know what to expect to some degree in the stuckness, because I keep experiencing the same sorts of things over and over again. That's pretty much a big part of what being stuck is. But I got to a point in my life where I don't want to experience the same old thing anymore, but maybe I don't have the courage yet to actually do anything different, So that's one thing I've learned about being stuck, is that the first step is to make a commitment to something new. And for a lot of us, the alternative of stuck is free, and that was pointed out to me in a call I just did with some of my members in my program, which is that so many of the people who come to work with me, that's one of their top values, one of their top desired feelings and experiences is freedom. And that is this part of us that has been stuck for so long that, maybe we don't even know much about where we're stuck or how we're stuck or why we're stuck, but we know that some part of us is crying out for freedom. And freedom does not come easily for a lot of us, and it doesn't get handed to a lot of us. So I think it's important to check in. What I know is that we have to commit to our own freedom and making space in our lives for that freedom, and having integrity in how we show up to create that freedom on a day-to-day basis, even if it doesn't always come effortlessly or easily. And what can happen, and what's maybe happened for you a time or two, is that, maybe you did get jazzed about making a change. Maybe you committed to a change for a little bit of time, and then maybe it even started to go well for a little while, and then boom, like something was disappointing. Somebody criticized what you were doing. Somebody maybe wasn't making it easy for you to pursue what you wanted to pursue. Whatever it was, something disappointed, and something in us pulls back, that enthusiasm that starts to move towards what we want and what we desire. Suddenly something bad happens, and then we kind of lose some of that courage. We get into these ways of thinking that end up keeping us stuck. One of the ones that comes up a lot is this idea that if things are going well, then something bad is just around the corner. Like the other shoe is going to drop at any moment, so I better just stay put and stay small and not really bother working towards the thing, because something bad is inevitably going to happen. And so we have these ways of thinking that can really close the door on what we want, what we're passionate about, and where we're headed, and therefore we stay stuck. So one of the things that I really help people do a lot is shift our thinking so that it's what I call open door thinking. And so maybe that means acknowledging, because I do think it's really important to acknowledge our past experiences and acknowledge our past hurts and disappointments. But if we then conflate that to mean that everything I ever go for in the future is going to be a disappointment, then we've taken it too far, right? We've closed the door. So with an open door, it's maybe more along the lines of, I tried this thing in the past and it didn't work out and it was really frustrating, and I still believe that it's worth fighting, working, moving towards my freedom. And what's really essential for my freedom at this point in my life is this, this, and this, and how can I keep those things in the forefront of my attention all the time and move through that lens, So wherever you can notice those cycles, those ways that you stay stuck, those belief systems that you maybe tell yourself over and over again that keep you stuck, and wherever you can just get off of that treadmill, even if it's just, for a moment, you're going to be setting yourself up for less and less of those stuck moments, and you're continuing to show yourself that you care about your progress and about your growth and about your movement and about your future and about, living your life without regrets, hopefully, So we all get stuck sometimes. It's a bummer. And it doesn't have to stay that way, So the only way that it will stay that way is if you stay committed to the stuckness and to the mindset of all of the obstacles, that because so many times I see that people have a hard time identifying what it is that they really want. We can talk for ages about what we're sick of and what we're sick of being stuck in, but sometimes it's hard for us to actually activate our imagination enough or activate our desires enough to have that clarity to talk really clearly about what it is that we want. And from my point of view, a lot of times that happens because as soon as we get a little glimmer of, I would like a little more of this, I would like a little more of this freedom stuff that I keep hearing about, some voice often comes in right away and is like, well, you can't have the freedom because of X, whatever it is, because I have to be at my desk from 9 to 5, 5 days a week, so there's no way that I can have freedom. Or, there's no way that I can have freedom because so-and-so doesn't pay me enough, or I don't get the acknowledgement that I need, or the support that I need, or whatever it is. It could literally be so many things, and we've all got honestly like pretty valid reasons for a lot of our stuckness. But what happens, in my opinion and experience, is that those voices come in with those limitations, and then we start rolling with that. We start defending our limitations and living in those limitations and singing the song of those limitations, rather than continuing to nurture the vision of what we want to create and build a bridge over the obstacle so that we can actually get there and achieve the outcome, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Like, I've heard it said, like, it's a matter of which dragon you feed. So if you think of like I lost track of my hands. If you think of the obstacle, the reasons why you can't as a dragon, and you think of the dream and the things that you aim for and the reasons that it could happen and the ways that it could happen as another dragon, which one are you feeding with your attention? Because whichever one you feed with your attention and your awareness and your thoughts and your beliefs and your emotions is going to get bigger. And most of us default to all the reasons I'm stuck and have to stay stuck, and we focus our attention there, and we reinforce our belief systems around that. And so we experience more of that. But what we can start to do, and what I help people do, is feed the dragon of the passion and the purpose and the dream and the freedom and the life that you're going to feel really aligned with and excited about, and put your energy into it, put your back into it, put your heart into it, and really treat these things like they matter. Because for a lot of us, we're saying we want these things, we're saying that we want freedom, but none of our actions are backing it up. And so that's a misalignment that we really need to check out. And so a lot of times the stuckness is a matter of misalignment. So anyway, that's my rant on stuckness today. I am currently working with two incredible women in my Lifestyle by Design 10-week program. And that is my program where I walk people through my process of getting really clear on what kind of lifestyle would feel authentically aligned to who you are and who you want to become in your life. And then get really clear on what's the most important to you to develop and design in your lifestyle, and then actually get busy making it happen. So, if you're stuck, if you're in a pivotal point in your life and you've done everything that you can on your own to try and make it happen, and it's just not clicking and you need some help, please reach out to me. Please book a call with me so that we can talk about Lifestyle by Design and see if it's a right fit for you. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing people sick and tired of their own lives, and I don't think that it has to be that way. Also, I'm just going to acknowledge here on camera on this live that I cut all of my hair off, and I'm still getting used to it. So for those of you who haven't seen any of my previous lives, my hair was about down to here and more blonde, and I've lightened it up a lot, and I'm kind of excited about it. My scalp can breathe, and I know that it'll grow back because I do actually want it to be long. But what can I say? I cut my own hair and I took a little bit more off than I meant to, and so here we are, and I'm rocking it anyway. And I'm also like playing more with what I've actually been doing to my hair. I want it to be healthy and strong so that it can grow longer if I decide I want it, keep growing it or whatever. But regardless of the length, I want it to be healthy. And I noticed that at a certain point I kept getting split ends and it kept breaking. So I've been playing with a few things. I've been using Rasol clay instead of shampoo, which has been really interesting. And then the other day I made flaxseed gel. So instead of like regular store-bought hair gel, I basically boiled flax seeds until until all of the gelatinous stuff came out of the flax seeds, and that is feeling really kind of nourishing. So, little side trip that I'm on in this hair journey. Probably gonna have to write a blog about it or something. I also realized that the last real blog post that I wrote was when I was selling my house over 4 years ago, like 5 years ago, I think. And so I've been traveling in this converted bus for 4 years now, and I have not really been blogging about it. So I don't know. Drop a comment. Let me know if that's something that you want to hear more about. Really, I'm living a nomadic lifestyle because it feels really good for me and it feels authentic for me. It's not because I necessarily want to be a blogger or be sharing it all publicly, but I'm sure there's a balance. I'm sure that there might be some bits and pieces of my lifestyle that maybe you would like to hear about. So if you have any thoughts about what you'd like to hear me share about or blog about, please drop a comment and let me know. And again, for any of you guys who are really ready to make some big moves and shifts in your lifestyle, and you want the support of a cohort of women who are doing the same thing and making bold moves and committing to finding and creating a freedom-based lifestyle, DM me and we'll set up a call and we'll find out together if my Lifestyle by Design program is right for you, because it's a super fun program. You learn a lot about yourself and actually can take these seemingly impractical dreams and make them practical and really bring them to life. So, if you're willing to believe in yourself and believe in your future and really commit to making some cool stuff happen, then I am here with you for it, and I will get in your corner to help you find your way there. So hopefully I'll talk to some of you soon. Drop any thoughts in the comments, and please like and subscribe.